Hello YouTube and welcome back to the Drunken Kobold. Today we are reviewing the Heavy Metal Icewind Dale dice by Ultra Pro along with the D22 set tie-in. The channel didn't exist when the red and black set came out, so I didn't get to review them, but I absolutely loved that dice set as well as the sapphire metal dice that came out as part of the 45th anniversary, so I definitely wanted to get in on these and get a review out for them as soon as I got them, and lo and behold, they are here. So without further ado, let's take a look at these dice. Alright, let's look at the dice themselves. The dice come in a plastic box with a clear window so that you can see the dice inside. It is a 7 polyhedral set. On the side of the box is D&D branding, and the bottom of the box has the Ultra Pro branding, very similar to the original heavy metal set. However, this one features in a metallic ice blue so that it is more thematic with the Icewind Dale set. The box is held together with a magnet in the flap and a magnet in the side of the box. These make it so that the box is not going to open during your travels or in your dice storage. One thing I do not know is how well the magnet will hold up. Lots of magnets wear out over time, and with this set being so new, nothing in it has been able to be time tested yet, unfortunately. Alright, so now let's look at the dice themselves. I love the bright white and the blue numbers on them. This is very perfect and easy to read. You're not having to second guess what you rolled. Let's look at the original heavy metal set in contrast. While it looks really cool, the black set does have a little bit of difficulty reading for those who may be hard of vision, especially since there isn't a lot of contrast between the red and the black, whereas this white and the blue numbering on it is a perfect contrast. It is beautiful, easy to read. So now, I like that the D4 gave a whole face dedicated to the ampersand rather than going with the ampersand on the highest number like it did with the rest of the dice. The numbers feature on the point of the dice, not the edge, so it is the number facing up that wins the roll. For those who like their numbers on the edge of the die, there unfortunately is not a heavy metal option for your tastes. I hate to say it. I'm not a fan of them, but I know some players are. Much like the D20 that features in this set, there are 2 D20s that come in a white box with blue lettering on it. These dice are the exact same as this D20. They roll well, they're not going to wear down over time as quickly as plastic dice, so you're going to get a lot of use out of them. The one thing I don't like is that the packaging of this dice doesn't match the main theme of this box set. It would have been much better if at least the blue was a metallic blue so that way it kind of fit in, but a black and blue box would have been best in my opinion. I know that the original set, that the 4D6 box that you could buy with it was black and had the metallic print on it, so that it blended in with the packaging of the original set quite well. One thing to note about these dice is because they are white, they will show scuffs and dirt a lot quicker than a dark colored dice set. This one came with a factory scuff here. I don't know if it can be removed with a cloth and some water. I'm going to try that later, but it is important to note that if you handle these dice with dirty fingers or on a dirty table, they will show the dirt a lot quicker than other dice and will need to be kept clean to be in displayable condition. One thing I want to point out is that the percentile die does not have an ampersand on it. That is a huge letdown, as the ampersand is what kind of completes the set and completes consistency across the board, and the fact that there is no ampersand on this die whatsoever is disappointing. In fact, I think the only D&D metal branded set to feature the ampersand on the percentile die was the 45th anniversary set, which was absolutely beautiful. For those who have managed to get it, you'll know what I'm talking about. So what are like the main points of this? I love the construction of the box. The clear window to see what's inside, the magnet to hold it together so that you're not having to pull it apart, much like this box here, is absolutely great. I don't know how well the packaging will hold up over time, because like I said, these haven't been time tested yet, but I feel that it will hold up pretty good for a decent amount of time. What are some improvements that could have been made to this box? Well, I know that a lot of people like dice trays. This is a nice faux velvet here, and it makes holding the dice really nice. However, I would have done something similar to the Dice and Miscellany set for Icewind Dale. This could have held all the dice in the faux foam here, and then the lid could have been the dice tray, and it would have just popped on like that, and it could have had magnets to hold it in place along the sides of the box too, and that would have been just fine with me. One of the other things is oversized dice. I don't like them personally, but I know a lot of players do. A lot of players like to have that large die when they're rolling advantage and disadvantage, although I firmly believe that that is just a psychological feature, that because it is mechanic high-low, not one die versus the other gets the roll, that there is no need to be able to distinguish between two D20s, but an oversized die rather than the two D20s here would have been a much better selling product for this. One selling product that was in the original set was a box of 4d6 that could be bought separately from the original set. This set, being a 7 set, only has the 1d6, which doesn't help with rolls that require lots of d6s, particularly the rogue's sneak attack. So having that extra tie-in would have been a great product. I think starting with a 7 polyhedral set and having an extra box that had an oversized D20 and 3 D6 matching the set would have been a perfect way to complete an 11 polyhedral set. And like I said, having a dice tray for storage rather than this display box, as nice as it is, would have been much better in my opinion. And lastly, the missing ampersand on the percentile. I'm sorry, Ultra Pro, but you gotta have that ampersand. It just creates the uniformity across the set. Overall, the quality of these dice is really nice. They're weighted well, they roll well, they have a really good variety of numbers while you're rolling, and they don't appear to be weighted to one side. Obviously, I haven't cut any of these in half to see if there's any imperfections in the metal, and I haven't seen any reviews that have, but I feel that they roll pretty well for what some would consider a cheap set of dice. All in all, the fact that there is no oversized D20 for the players who like it available, and the fact that no 3d6 to tie in here, or even a 4d6 box, is a little upsetting, but that doesn't overall affect the quality and the grade of this box. So overall, this box set I have to give a solid 8 out of 10. The dice are beautiful. I just wish it had a dice tray rather than a storage box, and that there was a percentile die here. These dice, I give these a 6 out of 10 at best. There was already a D20 here. The fact that this isn't an oversized die, the packaging isn't anywhere near as nice. it's just not a nice set overall and isn't really worth the dollar that you spend on it. So yeah, 8 out of 10, 6 out of 10. Do you agree with my assessments? Let me know in the comments down below. If you feel I deserved it, please leave a like and consider subscribing. In the meantime, cheers and may the rolls be with you.